Deep counseling over there. I'd like to call this Caddo Parish Commission regular session to order for December 7th, 2017. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Dominic, Johnson, Jackson, Lynn,
Here.
Dolan,
Present.
Cawthorn, Gates
Present.
Watts,
Present.
Middleton,
Present.
Atkins, Chavez, Smith, Lewis Johnson.
Present.
We have quorum, sir.
All right, we will have, I will lead us in an invocation and we will do, oh, I'm saying, all right, Pastor Gant, you here? If you don't mind, if you would lead us in our invocation, thank you for pointing that out. Pastor Gant of Calvary Missionary Baptist Church will lead us in.
On Ledbetter District 6.
Ledbetter District 6. Will lead
Better,
us
I want session.
and Commissioner Lewis.
There's enough for me to go around.
It can sing
Amen.
too.
Let's pray. Eternal God, our Father, how we bless your name, how we thank you for yet another expression of your love, your kindness, your mercy, and your grace.
Yes.
We thank you for allowing us to gather in this place as this deliberative body together. I pray that you would give them wisdom, knowledge, and direction, that they would make those decisions in the best interest of our people.
Yes.
Let there be unity here, and let there, oh Lord, let us be able to disagree and not become disagreeable.
Yes.
Guide and direct ourselves. Bless our city, bless our parish. Thank you for these elected officials. I pray your blessings upon them. And during this season, you are the reason for the season. We thank you for your gift. And now we want to be able to give to others. We ask it in your Son's name. Amen.
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 Place the American flag, proper salute. Repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor Gant. Next, Mr. Clerk.
Next, we move to agenda additions.
We don't have any.
I don't have any, sir.
Okay. Next.
Next, we move to citizen comments.
All right, citizens who wish to address the commission on issues other than zoning, please fill out a comment card. Can y'all hear me back there? Because it doesn't sound. All right. Issues other than zoning, please fill out a comment card located in the chamber foyer and return to the president or the clerk of the commission. Individual comments are limited to 3 minutes. All right. Jacqueline Monroe, please come forward. How you doing?
My name is Jacqueline Monroe, and I live in the Queensboro area. And I'm here before you about a house, which I just spoke with Mr. Bowman, so he wasn't quite familiar with it. But the house is at 3308 Boss Avenue. The house has caved in. I have dealt with rats that are not rats. I've been there 16 years. In 6 months, I've had 2 rats I've had to get out my home. I've dealt with bats. I've dealt with a possum we just finally caught. I've dealt with raccoons. This house has fallen in. It needs to be shored up until whatever decision y'all come to about tearing it down, because it has shifted, and if it goes in again, I live next door to it. It's gonna go directly into my daughter's bedroom, where I have a 7-month-old grandson and an 8-year-old granddaughter. And I've called everyone. I have been down here constantly. I've called the animal shelter. I don't know who to deal with the bats. I haven't found that out. I didn't know if I need to call wildlife or whatever. But this house needs immediate attention. It's in a resident area, and it's homeowners in this area. I'm the renter next door. And if you saw this house, you would not want it the way it is caved in and it's bored out. And I hear the house, when it dries, it cracks and split. And this last time, a month ago, it made a big split. And Mr. Davis is the gentleman in our area. And we called him out and he took more pictures. to bring. So you guys supposed to have a picture of that house. But I'm told that you guys are waiting on to get a bid because it's two things that has to be done to the house. The house has asbestos. So that's number one. Plus it needs to be torn down. I live next door, I have COPD. Chronic bronchitis. And like I say, for my grandkids' safety, my neighbors' safety, we need something done with this house. We don't need you to wait up or something. In good faith or somehow, come and shore the house up till you get ready to do it. Make it safe. I can't go in my backyard. I can't let anybody go down my driveway because I'm fearful of their health. And I just would like some attention on this matter as soon as possible. And I've been on this matter going on 4 months now. Yes. Yes. It's a family home. They went through court. The reason why y'all got it late, they went to court. They took the house back. They found out they got to pay all this money. They don't want to do it, so they gave it back to y'all.
Ms.
Monroe.
Thank you for coming down. Dr. Wilson, if we could put her in touch with Property Standard.
Yes, sir. We will.
This will
Like I
be a
say,
city.
I've been through that.
Right.
I've been through everybody in
Right.
Property Standards.
Right, and also if we could get maybe Attorney Frazier or Henry Bernstein to explain to probably the process. Somebody probably needs to walk through the process, because a lot of times folks just don't understand what the process is. Stuff can be happening and taking place, and we just tell them, folks feel like they're just written off. So if we could connect her with the resources to the people who can take care of this problem, that's usually the first step to helping folks.
Mr. Jackson, I'm very familiar with the process.
Okay.
I've been in politics. I understand how it goes.
Okay.
This is
And
not
that's
a
not
matter-
to insult
yeah,
your intelligence.
Yeah, but this is a matter that if you see it,
I understand.
you would get out there and do something. Me and
Sure,
my
sir.
neighbors are talking about it now.
I'm sure there's a whole lot of folks up here. So, Dr. Wilson, if you could connect with her and connect her with the right folks, as well as, just kind of go over and reiterate what our role is and what we can and cannot do. And please, let's work. If there's an animal control issue, Kelvin, if you could get with her to take care of these issues for us. So,
That part I've taken care of. I've gotten all the animals caught.
but we're
except
gonna
for
do
the
our
bears.
part. We're gonna do our part.
Yeah, I think I want, Commissioner Bowman said come word too, but we'll have, you wanna talk now, should I
Yeah,
continue?
am I able to?
Sure.
I don't want to be out of order.
No, go ahead.
Oh, yes, and thank you. First of all,
Yes.
that's unfortunate that you're going through that, and this is our first time really getting information about that. I believe you worked with the city, but one thing about it, although it's a city issue, we also represent that, and it's something like that is not about city or parish, it's a human issue, and so I think we're going to send you to Mr. Tim Weaver, to also represents the parish, and then I'll also personally come by there myself to see what you're talking about and make sure we can see what we can do on the parish side to make sure we get this rectified, because it sounds like a public safety issue.
It is.
And that's not good, and that's not
It is.
tolerable no matter what district it is.
And people have already stole all the copper pipes.
All right.
I couldn't believe they went under that.
And maybe
Yes,
we could
ma'am.
also connect her with the health unit to see what other, because it sounds like it's a public health as well. So,
Yes.
Thank you.
No
Thank you,
problem.
Mr. President.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next, I have Alan Salas, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. If I'm not, I apologize.
My name is Alan Marsalis. I'm currently the owner and president of Bandwise Web Design here in Shreveport. I was formerly the founder of ShrieveNet back in the late 90s. So I've been in the internet business here in town for 20 to 25 years. And I'm here to speak about net neutrality. The federal FCC chairman, Ajit Pai, is he's now the chairman of the
Could you
FCC.
project just a little bit better?
Sure.
We
Okay,
can hear you.
I'm
but
sorry.
you can- Yeah, the mic is fine.
He has proposed legislation to repeal the net neutrality. And I know I only have a few minutes to speak. If I had to make my point in a few seconds or less, I would say that if net neutrality is repealed, your Netflix bill and those of consumers around our community will go up. With a little more detail, the net neutrality is the way the internet has operated up until this time. It was formalized a little more, I believe it was in 2015, but now there's an effort to repeal net neutrality and reassign ISPs such as Verizon, AT&T, Comcast into Title I. They're currently in Title II, which is like a utility. It's a common carrier. And if this legislation passes, it's not good for consumers and it's not good for content providers. It's really just good for these large ISPs. And I want to make one more point, that the telecommunications industry is one of the largest lobbying industries in Washington, D.C., if not the. They have plenty of resources, and usually it's not a matter of if they'll get it, it's when they'll get what they want. And sometimes it might take 10 years, but they'll keep up, and we have to fight these battles one at a time. And I just hope you guys can see to supporting net neutrality in any way you can.
Thank you. I have Mr. Kenneth J. Kreff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dr. Wilson, members of the commission. Kenneth Kreff, 157 Archer, Shreveport, 71105. Of course, we all remember 76 years ago today at Pearl Harbor. Secondly, net neutrality in 2007 didn't exist. Tim Cook, Apple CEO, and Steve Jobs had a conversation in around 20, long before Jobs passed, but they both agreed, had what we have now been present then, Apple working with AT&T never would have developed the iPhone. It never would have happened. The rules would have been such that it would have been prohibitive. Sometimes government gets in the way of trying to regulate, and we all want clean air and healthy food and water, but sometimes the efforts to create equivalence or a level playing field stifle competition. And anyway, look it up, that's a matter of record that we never would have had the iPhone if we had then what we have now. And the second last thing is, I talked to Tim Weaver today earlier, briefly, about an hour and a half ago. A week ago today, I witnessed on 800 Ockley a demonstration of an infrared asphalt paving machine the city purchased for about $200,000. Doing a little research, found out about the name of a gentleman named Paul Gustafson. Spoke to him, and he gave me a parking lot his company paved in Massachusetts on Cape Cod 5 years ago, paved asphalt potholes, and even with northeasters and ice and snow, it's in really good shape. And what I saw in Ockley is just a brief demonstration where they infrared heat and they fuse the existing asphalt, recycle the asphalt. Tim doesn't think it's a good buy for the parish. It may not be. I'm not an expert. The city thought so and ponied up the money, but it's seamless. It keeps water out of the potholes. You need one truck and a two-person crew instead of the current method, the old method of a pavement cutter, cut the asphalt, rip it out. The old asphalt gets picked up, put in the back of one dump truck. A second dump truck comes in with the new asphalt, and then a roller compacts it. 3 trucks involving about 7 or 8 workers as opposed to one truck. Just look into it, whatever your appropriate committee is on Public Works, whoever the members are. But I'm looking at a red, and I'm seeing red because it might be a way to cut our expenses and give a longer patch. And do y'all meet again on the 21st, Mr. Chairman?
No, this is our last meeting of the year.
This is the last meeting?
Unless a special meeting is called.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks a lot. I didn't think y'all were gonna meet again. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Next, Mr. Randall Archie, and I apologize. Archie. I apologize if I mispronounced it. Thank you.
I came to kind of talk about net neutrality and address that repeal, along with some of my other colleagues here. And just to clear up, a lot of people probably don't understand all of the major things that kind of go along with it. And today I was just kind of just bringing up one. Although it's about trying free enterprise, in this particular case, the entire, pretty much 90% of most consumers utilize about 4 ISPs that pretty much run most of the internet in the United States. And so, although the essence of trying to make free trade in this particular case is usually always a great thing, in this particular market, or the way that it works right now, is honestly to kind of get into that space would be about $20 billion. And so Verizon just proved that with their recent expansion. And so there aren't going to be a lot of people just rushing this market in this free trade. So the only people that are really going to actually not benefit are the consumers. And so therefore, basically, there would be nothing to regulate these 4 vendors that exist today. And so that's really what we're looking at. More than the free trade is there will be no regulation for 4 major providers that dominate the market, which the only people that will then suffer are consumers. And so that's one of the more important parts, more than some of the other points that have been brought up. But that's basically what I would like to address today. My name is Randall Ashe. I'm from Lunabyte, the co-founder and founder of Lunabyte. And along with my colleagues here, I believe a lot of us see the negative in the repeal of net neutrality. But thank you very much, everybody.
Just a quick question, and we usually don't ask questions here. Are you a business owner here?
Yes, I am. I moved here in 1999 from Trinidad and Tobago, and I've owned Synapse. I'm a co-owner of iShuttle and Lunabyte.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
All right. Melvin Slack.
Good evening to everyone.
Good evening.
First, giving all glory, honor, and praises to my Lord and Savior, whose name is Jesus Christ. To the entire panel, it's a pleasure as well as a privilege to be standing in front of you on today. What I wanted to bring to the board's attention on today is about the Sunday alcohol and liquor sales. Make a long story short, it sounds good, might even look good, but if you're not out there in them streets after 12 o'clock, it ain't no good. A lot of us are not pointing no fingers at nobody, but a lot of us are not out here in these streets and realize exactly what's going on in these streets after 12 o'clock, between 12 and 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, when these black as well as white folk getting drunk, tearing up signs all up down the road, the highways. If you pay attention when you go up down I-20 now, we missing all kind of speed limit signs, yield signs, stop signs, and everything. That's because we have approved the city of Shreveport to drink 22 out of 24 hours of the day. Okay, if we do it on Sunday, we're gonna give them more time to drink. You already got alcoholics out here. You already got prostitutes out here. You got homemongers out here. You got pimps out here. You got some of everything out here. So what I'm basically trying to say is that anytime you consume too much alcohol or liquor, believe it or not, I know a lot of people don't like hearing this, but it has a vice versa effect that marijuana has. Okay, you consume too much alcohol or too much liquor, like I explained to the Honorable Mayor Ollie Tyler. If you consume too much alcohol or liquor, 5 things can happen. First thing can happen, you get stopped by the police, get your DUI, driving under influence. Second thing that can happen, you can get your DWI, driving while intoxicated. Third thing can happen is you can injure somebody for being impaired. Fourth thing can happen, somebody can injure you for being impaired. And the biggest thing, the fifth thing, once all that take place, your butt going to jail. So it sounds good. It even look good on paper. But if y'all pay attention to all this violence that's going on in the city of Shreveport, domestic violence is going on daily. burning up houses in the hood, and it's going on daily. If you keep on approving this alcohol and liquor, you're gonna need some more people working at the fire department. You're gonna need some more people working at the police department, because Shreveport gonna be off the hook for real. And based on what I'm trying to say, it sounds good, it even looks good on paper, but it's not good. And I pray that y'all understand and listen to my little old self tell y'all what's been on my mind for the last 2 or 3 months, because like I say, don't too many people listen to me. This is the only time I feel like somebody has listening there to listen to me. So y'all got exactly what's on my mind, and I pray y'all make the right decision today. I'm done.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Keith Hansen. Keith Hansen.
My name is Keith Hansen. I live at 10605 Medora Court, Shreveport, Louisiana, 711-15. Sorry. 11 is my business. I'm the co-founder of Twin Engine Labs, a software development firm. We also have an automation platform heavily reliant on the internet and open access to it. And I have also brought a program called Minecraft University here to our schools. We have 10 schools currently piloting it in Caddo. I'm finding that many of these students don't even have internet access at home. That's one of my major worries about all of this. I think both of these gentlemen already have described some of the issues with getting rid of net neutrality and stopping treating it like a utility. I wanted to explain here to everybody today why I'm so excited that you're even talking about this. The fact is that it's a national issue. It's not something that we have a lot of power to change in our seats here. But our city telling people we care about these issues is super important. If we want more tech businesses and more knowledge industry like ours starting up in our town, we need to let them know that we're informed and aware of the issues they care about. As you all know, I know you deal with the nuts and bolts every day of governance, but this is super important to talk about to try and tell more people around our region that this is a friendly place for tech businesses to start up. The reason why you're hearing so much hubbub about this is when you have content providers and you have service providers like me, platforms that take advantage of the open internet access available to us today, that creates innovation, that creates opportunities for more businesses than just the 4 who control the internet. All that to say, if we aren't talking about this at the city level, then there can't be any ways to potentially attract people who, if this passes and we remove all of the net neutrality available to us today, then we're going to have an exodus. We're going to have huge problems starting up tech companies who can't play in those spaces and become a huge company like Netflix and afford those fees that will absolutely come down on top of them. We'll have different classes of internet, different classes of citizens because of that, who can access this and who can't, instead of just anyone who has an internet connection. So there are multiple layers to these problems, not just economically, but also socially. So all that to say, I applaud the effort of bringing awareness to our city here about these issues, and just hope that if we are going to start a conversation about this, then let's come up with some solutions together. Let's talk through these things. I think there are a lot of good ideas that we can put on the table and actually implement in our own city.
Thank you, Mr. Hanson, and hopefully we'll stick around. All right. Next, Mr. Clerk, I have any more? No more.
Okay, we have no visitors. We move to special resolutions.
All right.
Special resolution recognition to Ms. Janae Williams.
Please stand for the reading of the special reading and presentation of the special recognition. If you guys would like to come down.
This is sponsored by Commissioner Cawthorn and Commissioner Stormy Gage Watts. In the name and by the authority of the Caddo Parish Commission, a resolution of recognition to Ms. Janae Williams. Whereas the Caddo Parish Commission is always pleased to recognize and honor those sons and daughters of Caddo Parish who have gone forth and gained singular and outstanding personal achievements, and in doing so reflect favorably and positively upon their home community. And whereas Ms. Janae Williams, daughter of Reverend and Mrs. Joe R. Gant, has been accepted in the Carnegie Hall High School Honors Concert Choir in New York City, New York, for the 2018 High School Honors Performance Series. And whereas a junior at Huntington High School was accepted into the 2018 High School Honors Performance Series at Carnegie Hall by performing Roger Quilter's "The Sweetest Flower That Blows" during her audition. A noteworthy performance made her stand out and was ultimately chosen as a finalist from students from all over the United States, Canada, Australia, China, Hong Kong, Mexico, New Zealand, Qatar, South Korea, and the United Kingdom. And whereas her post-school goal is to attend Southern University A&M College in Baton Rouge and pursue a double major in communications and music. Her formal schooling will ultimately lead to her chosen career as a motivational speaker and TV host. Now therefore be it resolved by the Caddo Parish Commission in legal and regular session the 7th day of December 2017 that it does hereby extend its most sincere and heartfelt expressions of congratulations and appreciation to Ms. Janae Williams for her praiseworthy achievements and for representing Caddo Parish so elegantly and admirably to the nation. Signed, Stephen Jackson, President, Doug Dominic, Vice President, Lynn Cawthorn, District 6, Stormy Gage Watts, District 7.
We all can be seated at this time. Please be seated.
I want to congratulate Janae. It is always a pleasure when one of our own from our local community make an achievement like this, and we definitely need to be applauded. And I did make a note of where she's going to college at. It's like she's keeping with the family tradition. So congratulations, and we wish you all the most success.
I too would like to say those same sentiments to you. Congratulations from Caddo Parish on all that you are doing out here to represent us so well. I'm so proud of you, young lady, and choosing the blue is always the best. Congratulations.
Thank you. This is a great accomplishment. I'm really excited to go to New York at Carnegie Hall. Thank you.
Okay, just one moment. Just one moment. Just one moment. We got a couple. I see Commissioner Bowman up there.
Yes, ma'am, Ms. Janae. I just want to congratulate you. You definitely come from greatness. Your parents, great in the word and great in the community, and so I applaud you for representing us wherever you go, because that's what you do. When you do something like this and enter with the likes of Carnegie Hall, you know, that's big time. That's good, and you represent us, and that shows that can anything good come from Shreveport? Yes, it can, and you're a true example of that. So thank you so much for blessing us.
Thank you, Commissioner Bowman. And go ahead, sure.
President Jackson, Dr. Wilson, let me say this. I'm really proud for more than the fact that she's my daughter. The other reason I'm proud because it sends out a signal across this city that we have great scholars in all of our schools. That's right. And we need to make sure that we invest in every area of Shreveport and Caddo Parish and not specific areas. The other thing I came to the MAC for was to invite you on the 30th of December. This is the 36th year that we host a 40-hour prayer vigil. And I'm sure you'll be hearing from Judge Leon Emanuel during that elected official hour. Come and let us pray with you. I believe in prayer, I think, more than ever. I say to people, instead of talking about our elected officials, let's pray for them, let's lift them up. So I invite you and thank you. This means much to my baby, and I want to thank you for this period of recognition for her. Thank you.
Thank you. And Pastor Gannon, Mr. Janae, just, congratulations for everything that you're doing. It starts here, what you're doing. I'm into the performing arts and theater arts, musician myself, was in the
That's right.
band all state, and so I
Woodlands.
know that the work you have to put in, I'm assuming you had to do 12 scales. I'm not sure 12 scales, a sight reading piece, and a prepared piece. I'm not sure, but that's what we had to do in honor band. But it takes work. That's what I'm saying. And
Well, explain this, Victor. Take a minute. Come on. This,
And-
I want Arnice.
Is this the instructor?
This is Miss Arnice Brass.
Okay.
And we would not be here
That's
today.
what I was just
All
about
right,
to get
Miss
to.
Brad.
I'm getting.
I want you to give her an applause because we wouldn't
No, he's right, and I'm actually getting to that. It's the instructors, the parents, the support system that helped get our students to this point. And so, thank you all for supporting your baby. So,
And President, she is the one who reached out to us.
okay.
Well, Janae did audition for All-State, and she did do the sight reading, as you were speaking of, and the audition piece. For this particular performance, we had to record, we had to select a piece that was for her voicing, and then we recorded it. They didn't know who she was. She had a number, and we submitted it. It took us, well, I thought it wouldn't take us but 15 minutes to record and then send it in, but it took us over an hour. I'm just proud and happy that she was accepted to participate in this. She will spend a week in New York, and she will get an opportunity to work with people, musical selections that we sing with these composers that have written this music, and this is an honor. A lot of people take this lightly, but anytime you can go to Carnegie Hall
Amen.
and perform with people that write this music, and they will really, really understand what it is that we as music teachers, what we're trying to get them to do. This will be a part of her resume. She can go anywhere. She really can. And I'm really, really excited for her.
And
Thank you all.
You know, I was at the school board today at a meeting, and the theme that we left there with is, Pastor Gant, you spoke about it, is that we have to let our best and brightest evolve and emerge, not choose who will be the best and brightest. And so, thank you for keeping her in a neighborhood school. And thank you all for everything that you're doing. The only place I can sing is in the church choir.
That's the best choir.
Keep it up.
I'm not allowed to sing in the shower. My neighbors get to holler. Lewis Johnson, Commissioner
Thank you very
Johnson.
much.
I'm sorry.
Once again, so very proud. I want to welcome Pastor Gant and Sister Gant to the chamber today, as well as very proud and congratulations to Miss Janae. I was going to invite us to the prayer vigil, but you've done that already. So we're just very, very proud of you, glad that you're here, and so proud of your accomplishments. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Appreciate it. All right, next, Mr. Clerk.
So we need a motion and a second.
Oh,
to
okay,
approve
I'll
the
move,
vote.
So
Commissioner
moved.
Gage Watts moves on that, Commissioner Lynn Carthon seconds on it. Please vote on adoption of the special resolution. And that'll be filed over at the courthouse, so it'll be in the minutes and in the record forever. All right, that passes 11-0 with one eye of the chamber. Thank you. Thank y'all.
Next, we move to adopt the regular session minutes from November 22nd.
So
Move to
moved.
approve. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Gage Watts, second by Commissioner Matthew Lynn. Please vote on adoption of the regular session minutes. All right. That passes 11-0 with one eye in the chamber.
Next, we move to public hearing on ordinances.
All right, is there anyone here to speak in favor of ordinance 5747 of 2017? Is there anyone here to speak in opposition of ordinance 5747 of 2017? I see none, Mr. Kirk.
Okay, next we also have ordinance number 5748 of 2017, amending budgets, estimate revenues and expenditures.
All right, is there anyone here to speak in favor of ordinance 5748 of 2017? Is there anyone here to speak in opposition? I see no one, Mr. Clerk.
If no one to speak, we close the public hearings. We move to ordinance for final passage. Ordinance number 5747, declaring certain adjudicated properties
So
to be
move for
surplus.
adoption. Second. All right, moved by the chair, second by Commissioner Lynn Carthon. Please vote on ordinance 5747. And no we missing somebody?
Lynn?
Commissioner Lynn,
I voted.
you want to hear it
Did it
again?
again. Mine didn't.
Okay.
All right, that passes 11-0 with one out.
Ordinance number 4758, amending budgets, investment revenues, expenditures for various funds.
So moved.
Second, moved by the vice chair, second by the chair. Please vote on ordinance 5748. I think you may have said 47, 5748. All right.
Ms. Watts?
All right, that passes 11-0 with one out of the chamber.
Next, we move to ordinance for introduction by title, ordinance number 5750, an ordinance to amend and reenact Chapter 4, Article 2, Division 5 of the Caddo Parish Code of Ordinances to modify hours of alcohol beverage sales and otherwise provide with respect thereto. Public hearing and final passage January 4, 2018. Next, we need to ratify the minutes of December the 4th.
Move to ratify.
Second.
All right, moved by Commissioner Lynn, second by Commissioner Gage Watch to ratify the work session minutes. Please vote on ratification of those minutes. All right, that passes 11-0, one out of chamber. Next.
Move to resolutions. Resolution number 84, giving written public notice of regularly scheduled meetings in Caddo Parish Commission for calendar year 2018.
All right, moved by Commissioner Dominic, second by Commissioner Gage Watts. Please
A
vote.
quick question.
Oh, sure,
Mr.
go ahead. I'm
President.
sorry.
Mr. Clerk, is this the draft, the same as the draft we saw on Monday?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. That's all I had.
All right, Commissioner Lyndon Johnson, you want to speak?
Yes, I want to englobo and adopt resolution 84 and 85.
Second.
All right, moved by Commissioner Johnson, second by Commissioner Gage Watts to adopt resolutions 84 and 85. Please vote on the englobo and adoption. Only reason I'm gonna vote no is because I prefer us to meet at a later time, so. All right, that passes 10-1 with one out of chamber.
Next, we move to resolution number 86, expresses support of the Caddo Parish Commission for net neutrality, opposing the Federal Communications Commission restoring internet freedom draft order.
So move for adoption.
Second.
Moved by the chair, second by Commissioner Gage Watts. Please vote on adoption of the resolution. And I want to thank everybody who came down to speak on this matter. I believe it is important to our local economy and to us. I don't know if you want to speak, Commissioner Gage Watts.
I did. I just had one thing to say.
That passes 8-3 with one out of the chamber, but you go ahead. I'll extend that privilege.
Thank you so much. The only thing that I wanted to say, I thank you for bringing the economic impact that it has on a lot of citizens that may not be aware that they are having an issue, especially buffering or having no service in certain areas. I also wanted to make the public aware that there is an act that has been enabled for low-income families or adults that they can still get that internet service at a low cost. And I think there's a company who offers it for $9.99. I'm not going to promote anyone, but if you do your homework, I think you could find that out. So I just wanted to let everyone know that if you don't have internet, and because it's too expensive, that you do have the opportunity. I thank Commissioner Jackson and Commissioner Chavez for bringing this forward. This is something that is well needed, something that NACO has been discussing for quite some time. And they're already enabling acts to make sure that we repeal this and stay in line so that companies like yours can continue to evolve. So thank you for coming down.
Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Wilson, thank you, Commissioner Gage Watts. Dr. Wilson, if we will continue, I know out in our rural areas, internet access continues to be a challenge. And so we will continue to pursue, because these are the ones who could also be disproportionately affected. So we will continue to pursue grants or endeavors that are out there to expand that access.
Yes, the Coordinating Development Agency we are part of.
Okay.
That's their #1 goal, is to provide internet service to rural areas of the parish.
Okay, appreciate it. Especially as we're trying to grow business out there and homes out there,
Right.
that increases our tax base
That's
overall.
right.
So, and I think there was a report published about Bossier increasing. I think they tend to think they can increase their population at the expense of decreasing ours. So we always want to be cognizant of that.
Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Next.
Resolution number 87, resolution to encourage our U.S. Congressional Delegation, Governor Edwards and Major Glenn Curtis, Adjutant General of the Louisiana National Guard, to support funding for phase 2, phase 3, and phase 4 of the Regional Training Institute.
So move for adoption. Moved by the chair, second by Commissioner Bowman. Please vote on adoption of the resolution. All right, that passes 11-0, one out of the chamber. Next.
We have no old business. We move to new business. Confirmation of end-of-year appointments. Let me point out one appointment that came up today that I just found out information on. Miss Dorothy Oden, I believe, has passed away, so we may want to postpone this one until we find a little more information.
All right, Commissioner Linda.
Make a motion to postpone this until the first meeting in January.
All right, that motion by Commissioner Lyndon Johnson, second by Commissioner John Atkins, to postpone. Did y'all want to speak? Anybody want to speak? All right, please vote on, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Postponing all of them, or just?
All of them until the first meeting in January. I would like to postpone all of them till the first meeting in January.
I would say go ahead and, let's go ahead and vote on the ones that we have, except for the animal service one, the lady that passed away. Of course, I've already spoken, so I can't make a motion.
Okay.
I need to,
All right. Well, hold on, I don't, did ask y'all if y'all wanted to speak, right? They think they waived. Okay, Commissioner Lynn.
Motion to pass all of them except for the appointment to the Animal Services Board.
Second.
All right, y'all want to speak on your motion?
No.
All right, I'd like to speak, because I have had some inquiries about the Lot Street Memorial Library Board as well, so that was the reason I was supporting the motion to postpone. I think some folks wanted to open it up as well, so do we know if we had any?
Yeah, I can speak up. That's a.
Go ahead.
Neil Johnson was the rural appointment. It was.
Oh, okay.
It was actually made for, because we had no representatives in the rural area, and we have a library in every municipality. Greenwood, Morningscore, City, Vivian, Ida, Austin, Gillum, and they had no representation. We've been working for years to get a rural appointment, and basically he was.
Well, have we opened the application? I'm just asking, have we opened it up for folks who may want to be, who want to be in consideration? The complaint that I get is folks want to serve, but they're not sure. So I'm just saying,
all I know is
there could be an
if it's a
opportunity.
rural area, Neil Johnson's been doing an outstanding job.
Right, I'm not saying he has not. What I'm saying is, I was approached by someone. I got a text message from someone who had an interest and wanted to know what was the process for applying for one of the appointments, and this happened. It was the Street Memorial Library one, so that's why I was saying that I don't know. So that's why I was saying I don't know if we opened it up for an application period or not. What was the process?
We have not advertised or anything like that. No, sir.
Yeah, and I don't think we advertise for any of our
No,
appointments,
sir, we
but
do
we
not.
do allow for at least a period for resumes to be submitted.
The only thing we advertise on a basis is when a commissioner leaves.
Okay.
We do advertise that, but as far as the special districts, we don't usually advertise. If that board chose to advertise, that would be one thing.
Okay.
We don't.
Okay, all right. Commissioner Lynn is on the board.
I would like to speak out on behalf of Neil Johnson. This is not the photographer Neil Johnson. This is a completely different person north of town. I didn't know him from Jack, and he didn't know me, and I reached out to him and all the library board members. He was the first one to call me back and seemed to be on top of the subject that I was working with, and so I found him very responsive to me, and I'm confident that the rest of the commission would find him responsive to you. And the questions that I asked of the library board, he was really the only one who knew the answers. And the few questions that he didn't know the answers to, he found out. And so I was very impressed with his availability and his ability and the knowledge that he had of the board. And so if we were going to keep, if somebody said to me, Matthew, you get to keep one library board member, he would be the one that I would keep. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Commissioner Lyndon Johnson.
Yes. The reason I wanted to postpone this is if you look at it, the communication district number 1, that seat is open. There's no name by it. So we still got to come up with a name for that one. Neil will still serve in that capacity until he's reappointed. So there's no big issue there. Sewer District 5 is in District 2. So I want to make sure all those want to still serve I want to make sure that everybody still is in the same area.
What was in District 2?
Sewer District 5.
Okay.
All those 5 names are in District 2.
Oh, okay.
And so then the other one is the Animal Service Board. That person will still serve until we come back and vote to confirm all of them. So I just simply ask that we postpone it to January, the first meeting in January.
What he's saying is even though his appointment expires at 12/31, state law allows them to serve until their replacement. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Vice President Dominic.
Yeah, based upon what Commissioner Johnson said, I'll make a substitution motion to move, just go ahead and move Neil Johnson forward at this time.
Second.
That way we can approve the other ones in January.
All right. All right. So there's a new motion on the board, but I still have Commissioner Gabe Watts.
So can I speak for a minute?
Sure, go ahead,
So
go ahead.
basically, that would go ahead and move Neil Johnson to the appointment, the rural area appointment for the library board. Commissioner Johnson can speak to his individuals on the sewer district. Hopefully we can come up with some names for the open seat on the communication district and also the animal service.
Yep.
Who was the second?
That was Commissioner Leon.
I mean, you want them bad, so that's fine with me.
All right, that's
That-
fine.
That sounds good to me.
All right, please vote. Commissioner Gabe Watts, did you want to speak?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I would like to know, is there going to be a deadline for the names that need to be turned in for these
what I'm
open
doing.
seats?
All of them?
Just the ones that
Depending on
are
how we
open.
vote today.
I mean,
Okay.
if y'all,
So I'm asking.
That's what I was
do we
asking
need to
about, like,
have
the
those-
process.
Right. Do we need to have those names available for our first meeting
We never
if
have
that
that.
legislation passes?
We never have, I mean, you know, we never have for these, the community, the sewer district's gonna be kind of up to, that's all yours, correct?
Correct.
So that should be his. The communication district and the animal service, Todd, can you tell us how we're gonna be handling that?
I mean, if y'all wanna move this to the first meeting in
January.
Set the
January,
deadline
then
for
we
that
need to
Monday or
have, we
something.
need to have some names to go on the agenda for that
Okay.
Monday, or that Tuesday, the 2nd.
So
So
the
that
last
Friday
meeting-
before the new year, I would need names to go on the agenda.
Okay.
You know, so if I wanted somebody, I'll call you and put them on there for me, want somebody should call and put them on.
Okay.
I mean, it's an open seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that everyone understood the process, because we have had some issues before where we didn't realize that there was a deadline in time, so I just wanted to establish
So the
that.
hospital
Can you
board.
send us
I
a
will.
reminder, because we're gonna get caught up in the holidays.
I will.
Just about, I guess, that Wednesday or something, or.
I'll send it 1 week in advance, and then the week of, we'll send another reminder.
Okay.
That's it, Mr. Chairman, thank
All
you.
right, please vote on the substitute motion to.
This is-
Can
this
you
is-
summarize,
Neil.
Yeah.
can you
This
current,
is,
summarize the current substitute motion?
Just the substitute motion to appoint Neil Johnson to the Shreve Memorial Library Board. That's it.
The other ones
And
are moved
others
to
are being
January.
moved to January. All right. All right, that passes 11-0 with 1 item to change.
Okay, so we need to go ahead and vote on Mr. Johnson's motion to postpone to,
Okay. All right, so please vote on, we're back to the motion to postpone the amended sort of appointments till the first meeting in January.
Correct.
All right, please vote on adoption of those, or postponement of those appointments. All right, that passes 11-0 with 1 item to change.
next we move to communication committee reports.
I guess I read on the board.
Did you have anything, Dr. Wilson?
No, sir.
Okay, and I sent you an email about those SPD GPS, if you could follow up with us on that.
So we did. Y'all talked with Val before I came down here. She's gonna forward that to you.
I'm sorry, the SPD vehicles, the
Oh, yeah,
GPS
yeah,
monitor.
yeah, I did respond to you.
Okay.
Did you
all
get
right.
it?
I hadn't checked.
Okay, I
Okay,
did.
appreciate it. Vice President Dominic.
Is, Ted Cox is not here, is he?
I saw him walking out the door.
No, sir, earlier.
He was there earlier.
Okay, or Clay, is Clay here?
Muriel is.
Okay.
Was Burns here?
Just wanted to kind of brag on the, I guess, his new school, AMI, is that, am I saying it right, Muriel?
Yes, exactly.
Would you come forward?
I went to, my son had a basketball game Monday, that's why I left early. North Caddo Middle Elementary played a basketball game against the AMI. That's a charter school, alternative school, where the, I guess, youth in trouble are there, and they were extremely impressive. It was the first ball game I think they ever had, and they played us.
Wow.
And
Who won?
we did.
Okay.
You know,
That's good.
What was the score? You didn't want to brag.
they scored, and my son he said, those were the nicest kids he played against.
Wow.
And he didn't know. And he said, oh, they were real nice. He just said that we decided that the parents and everybody that was there cheering on, it was like, if they scored, it was like a Super Bowl. They were really excited when they scored. So, just
We'll pass the
tell
message
them
on.
that, I thought, they gave awards to the board members, certificates, and they talked about the kids that were on the team. Just to get on the team, you had to earn it. So it was very impressive. It was the school on Quillen Street. I don't know whose district that is.
Quillen.
Off of Hollywood.
Mine.
So,
District
anyway,
7.
Okay, we'll pass it on.
so hopefully some other schools will go there. We had a good time.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Commissioner Lewis Jones.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. As we come to the end of this year, I wanted to recognize President Steve Jackson for your year of service. I think you've done a good job.
Thank you, sir.
I want to recognize you for the job that you've done. This was new for me, so I didn't have much to compare you to. But next we have Commissioner Doug Dominic coming in, and I want to congratulate you and pledge my respect and support for you as we work in the upcoming year. So good job to both of you. Congratulations.
Thank
Doug
you.
hasn't been voted on yet. He's a candidate.
I think he's letting you know.
Can we do that?
All right.
Steve in 2 terms.
Thanks for the correction there, Commissioner Carthon.
Lewis, I thank you for your support.
Endorsement.
Yeah, endorsement, yeah.
Appreciate it.
You could have a dog horse in the race.
Yes, sir.
And thank you for coming in and hitting the ground running. So
great.
it helps to have folks to make the job easy. Appreciate it. All right, Commissioner Mills.
Thank you. Don't hear a lot of mention these days about what December 7 was of 1941, surprise attack by the Japanese on American forces, the U.S. Pacific Fleet. They wanted to keep them out of any particular war that was already going on, and that brought us into the war. On that day in Hawaii, Honolulu, there's almost 2,400 civilians and military people that lost their life. Another 1,150 of them were injured. Again, that brought us into it, and this was a war that lasted essentially about 1,248 days. That's because America came behind America, and people came together, and they gave up a lot of things and built things and got things done right. I wish we could have that kind of, it's said the World War II generation is the greatest generation ever, and I think they are. And I think we've seen a decline on a lot of things, what we see today. But I appreciate, and particularly, I know we're all familiar with the Robert and Aaron show in the morning. At least they spend some time. They're always talking about their veteran dads who are now deceased, but it's good to hear those stories, and we want to acknowledge that. Also, I'd like to also acknowledge my my aunt that lives over in Monroe. Today is her 93rd birthday.
All right.
And so, fantastic for her. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Does she watch the live stream?
I don't think she has it probably in the facility that she's at. She may not be, but I appreciate you asking that. I'll have to ask my cousin to follow up on that. But anyhow, I wish everyone a Merry Christmas, and I thank you. We had a great lunch yesterday out at the Extension Service. It was fantastic, and I appreciate that. Them do that. And there was a great program yesterday at Susla with the Veterans Upward. I was able to attend that too. So anyhow, a lot of good things going on in our community. Let's focus on the good. Let's ask our folks to shop in our local districts and not use too much of that internet stuff, the convenience and all that. Let's stay with that.
That's what's slowing it down.
Crystal gets on me on this. We have great restaurants in District 8, and so she doesn't like me saying it this way, but have you ate in District 8? And because we do have the great restaurants down there, and as you're out doing your shopping, stop in and eat. We have a new one today that just started yesterday called Pizza Rev. It's across from Superior Bar and Grill, and I'm telling you the most expensive pizza on there is like $9, and so go in there, it's fantastic, and you build it the way you want. Anyhow, thank you for everyone, and I wish those people luck, as I also had several other good restaurants open in District 8. Obviously, I like to eat, and so anyhow, That's it. Mr. President, you've done a good job. Thank you, and Merry Christmas to you.
Oh, thank you, appreciate it. Commissioner Gage Watts, ladies first.
Thank you, sir. I also like to start out remembering Pearl Harbor Day. This year will be my first conversation, not having my first conversation with my uncle, who always remembered my grandmother's birthday by Pearl Harbor Day, who would be 103 years old on tomorrow is her actual day. But because he served in the war during that time in Pearl Harbor, he always talked about it. So in remembering Miss Carrie B. Crockram and Ernest L. Williams on Pearl Harbor Day, thank you all for your service and dedication to our country and to the citizens of this parish and the United States. The Northwest Louisiana Veterans Cemetery will have their annual wreath placement on tomorrow at 1 p.m. And they're asking if you would bring your tools to assist in making a small opening in the ground to place the flags or the wreaths. Also, with children getting out for school, the educational material giveaway, Treasure Your Child's Hidden Talents, they are giving parents, Resource Center, are giving away items that you can keep your children busy for 3.5 weeks. They will be at home with you for the Christmas break from 4:30 to 6 p.m. today at the Family School and Community Engagement Center at 5800 West 70th Street. That's next to Turner Elementary School. Director Wesley, if you would you come up, please? He's looking like, what does she want?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, sir.
Hello, ma'am. How you doing today? Madam Commissioner.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for you and your staff for your dedication and all your hard work that you do for the citizens of Caddo Parish. We really appreciate you, and I have something for you. You did so much for the youth this summer, and there was a group who wanted to honor you and say thank you for all of your hard work. And this is from the Project STAR Community Awareness Day, that the certificate of participation that they have presented to you. So I just wanted to present it to you personally and come and tell the citizens of Caddo Parish why we are greater, because you are a part of us. So thank you.
Very much. Thank you.
I'm going to bring it down to you, but I have one more thing.
Church announcements.
Thank you. Director Samuel, President is going to bring it to you. Thank you so much. Director Samuel, I just want to say to you, thank you for taking care of that rodent problem for the disabled man. Don't you want to come up and let them see you for all the hard work? You're doing a great job, and I really just want to say thank you personally.
Did the doctor prescribe those glasses 15 minutes ago?
No, look at it. If you ever need any other help or assistance, just reach out to me.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I was listening to the citizen who came down with the complaint about the rodents, and just listening to her story reminded me so much of the disabled man's story who needed somebody to actually come out there and see what his problem was. So I just wanted to say thank you. Anytime I call you all, you are always there, and you always take care of the manners in expeditious time. So I really appreciate you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
I don't have an award for you, but thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Did the doctor prescribe those glasses 15 minutes ago?
Oh, no.
It's kind of popped up out of nowhere. All right.
The last thing I believe is Tim Weaver. I don't see.
He got a suit on today.
Yes, he looks so nice in that blue
suit.
I was wondering if he had to go to court or something.
No,
he's preaching today.
He's modeling for GQ.
I didn't see BFF Robert Glass out there, so I'm just going to deliver this one to you. If you would check that area, Hutchinson and Bullen, there have been reported. I don't know if that's in Caddo Parish or not, but if you would, I'll form an email also to you about it. Okay. I believe that is it.
Cold weather made him put a suit on. All right. Commissioner Bowman, you said you wanted to go before that?
Yes, sir. Real briefly, there's also a turkey giveaway this Saturday at Morning Store, and the commissioners will be there, so we invite anybody to come out. It's at 9 o'clock. We'll be there at 8 to give them away. So this is from your favorite turkey.
Also, if any commissioner want to contribute to help
yes,
get some
anybody
additional
wants to
turkeys,
contribute.
they're still taking those offers right now too.
Give it to Lyndon Johnson.
And the citizens don't have to get out of their cars. We will personally bring it to the window of
turkey.
your vehicle.
That's right. Yeah.
When we starting that?
In addition to, since we're at this time of the year, I just want to, on a personal note, you know, I just want to thank each and every one of you all. We may vote differently sometimes and anything else, but I will
Why
say
you look
this.
at John when you said that?
No, I just
I'm
turned
teasing.
to it. That's my buddy. I don't care what y'all say. One thing that's been clear to me, and not only since when I first came here, and I only lost my mom, but just recently with grandma and just life itself, I have come to find out that family is not always just in blood. And I can honestly say, through ups and downs, through disagreements or anything, you all have been a real family to me. And I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. And I just thank you all. And I hope we can continue to grow and do better in the next year.
Thank you. We love you. We love you, brother.
I love y'all
Sound like
back.
the Waldens.
I truly mean it. I love each and every one of you all in here.
We love you back, man. We love you back.
That's it.
And I definitely love John Atkins.
Dr. Wilson.
How do I follow that one?
I thought Randy was always the clapping crew over there, like his Eric.
Yes, sir. You have to acknowledge things when it happens. President Jackson, the commissioner, I just want to remind you all, we have a committee meeting scheduled with policy meeting that Commissioner Johnson approved for us to present to you all a copy of the RFP for the audit for next year. Y'all was going to review that, the product that we produce. And we also will give you a copy of the audit report from the Animal Services audit. So we'll forward that to you next week. The meeting is on the 18th of December. Committee meeting should be brief, hopefully over lunch. So we can knock that out, so get y'all's approval so we can go forward, be ready to go at the start of the year.
Absolutely. Okay. Appreciate it.
All right.
Which committee is that?
Policy
Pardon
and
me?
procedures.
Policy meeting.
Procedures.
Yeah, I just wanted to say if I'm lucky enough to be president next year, I've already talked to Miss Karen. Miss Karen?
Yes, sir.
She told me if I need help keeping you guys in line, she's gonna take care of you. So I'm gonna be the hammer, she's gonna be the axe.
That has this duty thing?
She told me if y'all got out of line, if I had any problem, any commissioner, she's gonna take care of it. Isn't that right, Miss Karen?
That's exactly right.
So Merry Christmas too and a Happy New Year, prosperous New Year to all. Look forward to working in the new year for the Lord to the same.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right.
President's report.
All right. Well, I just want to again thank everybody for a great year. Things happen because we get together and make them happen, and not everything is going to be perfect up here, but we live and we learn through those things, and so this little leadership role has definitely helped me see things in a different capacity. Now I can kind of sit back and throw bombs as opposed to guiding them in different directions. Dr. Wilson, that means the phone will probably ring more and not less. But thank you for always taking my call and returning it, even at crazy times of the night. But I want to thank everybody again, truly from the bottom of my heart. It's been a learning experience and a teachable moment, to say the least. So thank you. I just wanted to remind everybody that we have Robinson's Rescue, that 50,000 spay and neuter. That's a program that we have helped guide, cultivate, and become successful. I think Commissioner Middleton pointed to it. We do not talk enough about the good stuff that we do. So we want to get out and support that. That's also at 9 on Saturday.
Is it 10 o'clock?
4 to 9. 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Okay, I apologize. So after you finish passing out turkeys, if you can come over, celebrate that, please do. Juvenile Health Fair, Juvenile Services Health Fair is
Saturday the 9th.
this Saturday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So if you could kind of swing by a little while, show your face, and show folks that you care. Again, want to say thank you for the budget that we passed. I don't know if we set a record on Tuesday for adopting the budget that fast, but we were in and out of here in short order, and that's what happens when you get together, talk out your differences, compromise, and come to mutual agreements. That's what local government is about, is producing for our citizens. And folks can say what they want to say about this body is that we at least are trying to do our best within our legal means for what we can do. And so thank you for being proactive in adoption of our budget. Folks could write about, I'll continue to stress, we've reduced travel. We've opened our meetings up to the World Wide Web on Facebook. Folks are always talking about what we're doing. We have put $3 million into the lock, and I know the press release is going to go out, but we are trying. And what I want to emphasize to the community is no institution is perfect, but the alternative of perfect and perfection is keeping the faith and keeping covenant with our citizens, and we are at least striving. I hate to go biblical, but David wanted to build a temple. He didn't live to see his temple come into fruition, but God blessed him because he had it in his heart to get it done. And that's what matters down here. It matters the fact that we are trying. I do not believe that anybody comes up here is inherently corrupt. Things happen, but we live through them. And so nothing is inherently corrupt. So no one is inherently corrupt. I love everybody. There ain't nothing you can do about it. I want everybody to have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Don't drink too much eggnog. Give back if you can. So please enjoy this, and not 24 hours, Pastor Slack. But
21 and 5.
But please go out and enjoy. And I have a note here that says meeting at the dog park, 10 a.m. Robinson's Rescue.
10 a.m. Saturday.
Yeah, 10 a.m. They have 10 a.m. and a 4 o'clock event.
There's
Okay,
2 events.
so there's a 10 a.m. and a 4 o'clock event.
Yes, sir.
All right, I don't know which one I got on my calendar, but I got something. But
They asked us to be at the 10 o'clock a.m.
okay,
press conference.
perfect. So 10 a.m. for the press conference and 4 a.m. for the event at
Right.
Great Rap, I believe.
Right.
Okay, all right. So with that being said, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, moved by Commissioner Dominic, second by Commissioner Gay Watt. Adjourn.